Alrighty. So, I know you're going. Wait, what? This is here. This is on the racing or iRacer channel. Um, so I want to do it over here. I'm gonna talk quickly soon about the race and all, but a few things I want to kind of do here in the live stream. Tomorrow I have another interview. Okay, to see if I can get another job, get a job, and I am hoping that this one definitely goes well. Um, and if it does, I need to start deciding how I want to prioritize my YouTube channels. Um, More or less, this is going to be for fun. It's always probably been for fun, just because I can't get I can't get views like I should and I want either side, right? I mean, my NASCAR channel has got 387 subscribers. This side has 115, but still, kind of want to. I need to not say niche down, but I need to niche down on a channel, right? In a sense, I doing this back and forth thing is kind of ridiculous. So I've seen people do different streaming and different stuff on their channels and do just fine. Case in point, Jeff Fabiano, right? He does. I mean, yes, he is known for his GTA 5 stuff, but he does other games, and I think he does just fine with doing that. So, anywho, let's talk about the race. All right, so more gonna be a rant than anything. So hopefully, let's get into not I guess you want to say bashing a lot of things, but I'm gonna do it anyways. So, anyways, here's Elliot. Yep, back there. He's my driver. Won today, finally. Thank goodness. Doesn't worry about Talladega. Doesn't worry about a lot of races that he could though do good at. Could struggle. Though it wasn't easy for him. Let's be very clear. It wasn't easy at all for him, but he got it done. And no, good for him. But the track, Texas Motor Speedway, yeah, it's still bad. Still a bad track. It needs tons and tons of help, and I am 100% sick and tired of this racetrack. We had 16 cautions today. Now, 2 of them were because of the stage breaks, but naturally we had like 14 cautions from some kind of incident out there. I would chalk up maybe 2 or 3 of them were actually incident problems, like someone wrecking into someone. But majority of them were caused by most of the people getting outside of the groove and spinning out. Some were naturally dirty air that makes them get loose and it gets out of the groove. But either way, it's getting out of the groove and they wreck. And this racetrack is just horrendous because of it. Now, I don't know what they're going to do to fix it. Pretty sure they're not. Because the problem is they see this kind of racing and they think, oh, this is fantastic. This is the best racing we've ever seen. But no, it's not. It's not. Not at all. Because you're at the mercy of other guys deciding to play dirty air tricks on you. And look, it's all fair in games. I mean, that's just how NASCAR is now, playing the dirty air war. But at a track that's so narrow as it is, you really hope no one does it. Because you're like, oh man, if one guy just slides up in front of my nose, that's it. I'm done. I either get wicked tight or get wicked loose. But either way, I'm probably gonna wreck. And they fear it. They said this track is sketchy. Wow, it's sketchy because you're carrying too much speed into the corners. See, even though the track looks gray and worn out, it has almost the same amount of grip. What? No. Okay, sorry about what is going on. Getting stutter frames here. Hold on here. My webcam sucks. I'm getting wow. What is going on? Can't do anything anymore without shit breaking. This is why I need the job. So I can go buy some things that actually will stay running. This is just crap. Let me try something here. Did I fix that? Yeah. Okay. It's almost like the frame thing needed to reset itself. I don't know. I gotta get a new definitely gotta get a new webcam. But anyways, the racetrack itself definitely just it something has to be done. For sure. 100% needs to be done with it. I'm glad that Chase won, but does that overshadow what this track really could be, the potential it could be? And it just there is nothing that I feel like they can do to this track right now that's gonna fix it, unless they totally reconfigure the damn track. It's the only way. But if they do, which you know what happens when they like to touch tracks every time, they have to make it a super speedway. Why? Who the hell knows? But they feel like it's just they have to. But yeah, it's not fun to watch a race that majority of the race is a wreck. The first stage, all you did was see Larson dominate, which okay, had a faster car. But second half, I'm thinking it's gonna be the same thing. Just not just seeing Larson win, and after that it was just wreck after wreck after wreck. I was like, what is going on here? And it was just because guys getting a little bit too out of the groove a little bit in 1, 2, or 3 and 4. Mostly it was 3 and 4. Not necessarily 1, 2, but you get out of that groove just a little bit. See you. Coming out that wall taste, because that's basically what was going to happen. It was terrible. Definitely a bad situation. But yeah, overall it was an okay race. The drivers, kudos to the drivers for having to race a racetrack like that. When you got all that room out there and you can't use any of that, but you're being close together and making sure that you really take care of each other until, for some reason, halfway through that race, they just wanted to wreck everyone up. But I'm going to go and head and I'm going to look over here. I got the final results up. I don't know, and maybe I need to look at Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and see if they've switched the final results for Keselowski, because on here it shows that Keselowski's second, but on the from Fox they say he's third. So kind of wondering if they've reversed it again, or did they? It's just they never updated it on here. Not really sure. Let's see. Bob says in reviewing the finish, NASCAR put Keselowski in second and Byron in third. The time caution. So okay, they did reverse it. So Keselowski is now back in second, William Byron third. And Tyler Reddick fourth. I would say he had the better second half car. No, I just saw that he declined to do any comments after the getting out of the infield care center. So I would pretty sure he's pretty pissed off for sure. I can tell you that right now. I mean, he got tight. You can tell that he just got tight, but it's the last lap. You're going to really think his William Byron going to just lift? I doubt it. Would Ross have lifted? You got to think about who did what to who. So, yeah, really, it's a racing deal at the end for me. But yeah, nothing. Here. All right, let me go back to the finishing results here. See, Tyler Reddick, like I said, he had second to third fastest car out there through the race. Suarez, I don't know where the heck he came from. He was doing pretty bad during the race, but finished fifth. All those cautions, I mean, come on, right? Chase Briscoe sixth, not bad, but Wallace finished seventh. Austin Dillon, excuse me, got eighth, and again, that was purely just by some luck at the end with all the crashing. Same thing as Kyle Busch, teammate, and Carson Hocevar, top 10, not bad for that team. They kind of need that momentum, regardless of how they got it. They need that momentum. Joe Logano, 11th. He got lucky at the end with a late caution, helped him enough to where he had fresher tires at the end. I mean, even Brad Keselowski had the fresher tires at the end, which was kind of surprising how much Brad made up the difference on his fresh tires, because it didn't seem like there was a big difference in there. Like roughly maybe half a second of extra speed in those tires. But they did almost work, and then it kind of stabilized out a little bit. But yeah, I don't know why it seemed like when they did it even earlier beforehand, like Chase did that and others, they didn't seem like to make up the difference, but at the end they kind of did. Seemed kind of weird. Ryan Preece 12th, Ty Gibbs, loose wheels, and 13th. Same thing with Mark Truex Jr. 14th, Chris Buescher 15th, Ty Dillon 16th. Let's see. Christopher Bell 17th, Noah Gragson 18th, Eric Jones 19th, Daniel Hemrick 20th. Larson, after basically having the fastest car out there from stage one, lost his wheel and went 2 laps down from that. Well, he got penalized 2 laps because of it. Most likely will be suspensions from I think it's the Jackman, and the tire changer will be suspended at least a couple of races for it. Next week won't be so worried about it just because it's Talladega. You don't really need to be fast, just be efficient, really. So now after that, Kansas, yeah, you kind of wish you had those guys back, but anyways, we'll see how that goes. Cole Joy 22nd, Tyler Reddick. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 23rd, Justin Haley 24th, Austin Cindric finished 26th, Zane Smith 27th, Kaz Grado 27th, Harrison Burton was up front for a while because of pit strategy. All of this was pit strategy that led most of these drivers to be up front anyways. But finished 28th. Jim Johnson spun out, finished 29th. Danny Hamlin. All right, let's talk about Danny Hamlin. Going for the lead, battling the lead with Chase Elliott. Chase got in front of him. He was clear of him. All right, good. Maybe a quarter of a car length. Maybe bumper width, I guess you wouldn't say. He cleared him, but when he slid up, it disturbed the air of Hamlin's car, and then got him loose. And at the same time he got loose, he hit the bumps, and the 3 and 4 spun out and crashed. So Chase did nothing wrong there. Anyone in Chase's position would have done that. Even Hamlin would have done it. So it's, of course, Hamlin probably would have just put Chase into the wall coming off too. But anyways, that's just how he races now. But the way that finished there with Hamlin and Chase, I don't see any kind of fault there. Just kind of racing. Typical kind of racing, I would feel like. But again, that's the top side, and he got loose. He drifted up, and then you hit those bumps. Plus, you get out of the groove a little bit. You're going around. But anyways, he finished 30th. Ty Gilliland 31st. Ross Chastain again at the end. Ross Chastain, I feel like it was a racing incident. Yeah, could have went by and backed off, sure, but then he would have lost by, second, which, well, he would have lost third, so he'd been fourth. But, okay. Really didn't go anywhere, right? So, I don't know how you would play that, but I don't see it was anything malicious or anything like that. I think it was a racing deal. Ryan Blaney, he got in the wall, he wrecked, finished 33rd. John Hunter Nemechek a couple times, 3 times I think, spun and wrecked. 34th, Michael McDowell caught up in a wreck. In 35th, Josh Berry a few times wrecked. He finished 36th. Alex Bowman was caught up in a wreck. He's kind of self-spun, and then McDowell ran into him. And then Austin Hill went out with some kind of power steering or some steering issue. So he finished last. But yeah, it was look, the racing, I'm going to keep saying, the racing itself, the drivers, they did a good job. The racing was decent. Track needs to be better. It's plain simple, it needs to be better. I don't know how to, I don't know how they could fix it the way it's designed now. Mostly, they're just going to have to reconfigure it and put it back to where it was before. I know when you do that, when you have fresh asphalt, the racing is going to suck for at least 5 to 6 years until they can find a way to get the cars to move out. It's going to be practically wide open. So if you think about it, that's why they would probably think, why not just make it into a super speedway if you're going to have to be wide open anyways? Because we don't need 7 super speedways on the schedule. Okay. 2 Daytonas, 2 Talladegas, 2 Atlantas, and then add another one. We just don't need that. It's just way too much. So, I don't know. If anything, I would get these guys out there testing during the summertime. Force them to run the top slowly. You don't have to go 150 or 60 miles per hour up on the top of the track. Just crawl around there 10, 15, 20 miles per hour. Just scrub the track in with the rubber. Do it for 50 laps. I know it's boring as hell, but if you do that, maybe whatever is on that track, whatever's causing the track to not allow those tires to grip up there, you can then get the track to instantaneously just go and grip. Right? I just don't know what's causing it, but there's got to be something that's causing it. I don't know what. I mean, besides that little section of the traction compound, resin, whatever you call it, they have that in that third groove, roughly the second half groove to third groove. It's in there. After that, they try to put all the way to the top, which was useless. I mean, no one was ever going to touch it. But that's, I think, pretty much worn out. If they can go out there and just scrub in their tires, that's for almost 100 laps, just scrubbing tires in. They maybe then, as they feel comfortable, they could pick up the speed and start feeling like, okay, we can go a little harder and harder, and eventually they're up to that full speed where they can go. And maybe, just maybe, by the time they come back to the springtime, they've done enough to the rocks and the minerals and that to find them down to where they can soften tires again. And it's all about tires. Let's be very clear. All of this is based on tires. Tires are still rock. They maybe are a little bit softer, but they don't wear. Okay. Again, from they were doing the speeds, and the fastest guys who had precious tire versus guys who didn't were only half a second faster. Now that may sound that's a big difference, but in racing that's not. You have to at least be almost 3 seconds different in speed to make almost a huge difference. A second, maybe, as long as you can keep staying that kind of speed in your car. Because, like I said, Brad Keselowski, he was starting to catch those guys at the end, Elliott and Hamlin. As soon as he got next to or up to Chase, the tires started equalizing, and then, of course, the dirty air, it didn't really matter. Yes, sir. Chase Elliott, let's go. Finally. Oh, man. I'm telling you, that was, those, what was it, the going into the first Grand Checkered. I mean, I was like, for fuck's sake, stop wrecking. I mean, that was pissing me off. Every time they would go into that, for another Grand Checkered, or it's just like, oh man, that drove me nuts. Absolutely drove me nuts. And then, like I said, the thing that happened to Hamlin, racing deal. I feel like it's racing deal. Hamlin had done the same thing to Chase. He was in that position. I mean, I don't think he had any beef with Ross Chastain. I mean, yeah, they made I would say slight contact down the back straightaway. It looked egregious because of how much Chase swerved at him, but it wasn't terrible. And then Chastain just lost, or I don't say lost it, but he got out of the groove a little bit, got tight, and Chase's teammate finished him off. But man, oh, that was fun at the end there. Just the racing needs to be better there at Texas, that's for sure. We gotta, because here's the problem: either we suffer with this track for the next probably 5 years, or they reconfigure it, but they're going to reconfigure it into a super speedway. So either have 7 super speedways, or do we deal with this contract for another 5 years? I don't know. I was standing up the entire time. Oh, dude, you don't know how much I lose, especially when Chase. When there's a good finish, I'm excited, right? Especially like Saturday's race. That was an awesome finish. But boy, when it comes to Chase Elliott winning, well, my whole town can hear me. I definitely lose it for sure. But yeah, I mean, that was awesome for sure for him winning, and now he's in the playoffs, right? Good for the playoffs, I think, as long as he hasn't. They haven't. Let's see here, make sure. Well, it's still probably corners. Yeah, it's talking to Hamlin there. But I'm glad at least Reddick got back up to P4. He, after washing up the track there and almost wrecking it, at least he got back up to 4th. I think it's going to be a while before we know the inspection, but I would say he's fine. Rarely do they ever penalize the winner anymore, so. But yep, that was awesome. Just need to put the banking back in turn 1-2, repave it, track. Yeah, and so which I agree with you. See, but the only problem with that is we're going to be waiting about 5 or 6 years to even produce good racing there. With these next gen cars, even with these tires, I want to say the car. I don't think it's the car issue. It's more a tire issue. That you have to run a really hard tire because they want it blowing out. And because it's so hard and doesn't wear, the speeds are going to be ridiculously fast there. Which, I'm not opposed of. I mean, I'd love to see these guys tickle almost 200 in a mile and a half again. I don't know if they're gonna. I mean, even with 670 horsepower, you're maybe reaching 195, maybe to 197, but qualifying speeds maybe close to 200. But you're not gonna see. What I would do is, and I don't know why they went away from this, because ever since they went to that traction compound resin stuff, we never heard about the tire drag anymore. So I don't know if they still use it. We just don't hear about it. But they need to bring that back. They need to bring the compound tire that they're going to use. Okay. For some reason, I think they just use a random tire to add rubber to it. They need to bring the compound tire that they're actually going to be using on the racetrack, on those cars, put on the tractor, and rubber the crap into it. They need to go test. They need to really, and what I would do is, not only that, during a test, force those guys to go to the top, clean it off. You don't have to run 150 miles per hour. Going 30, 40 miles per hour will do just fine. You just got to scrub in the tires, rub that rubber right into that track, through the whole track. And as they keep doing it, they're going to wear that track out even more. They got to do something, or it's just, we're going to be a groove, maybe 2 grooves. Again, you got to make it wear fast. Now, now this is just my thing because I've seen progressive banking work a little bit better. If you wanted to turn into a progressive banking on both sides, like kind of Kansas style, I think they repaved Kansas in 2012, right? 2011, 2012. It took them, I want to say they were up and on top in 2013. So I would say it took about a year, maybe 2, and they were running the top. The track opened up. It was hot and slick. And if it definitely stayed with the the springtime date being in the 80s, it will get that track hot and slick. They could get the track to move around. So having progressive banking might be a little bit of a better option, but if not, at least put it back to where it was. And then that should be, at least it's better. Better than what we're seeing right now. I mean, look how many, all those cars that are wrecked. I mean, we're going to Talladega next week. That track there should be the one that causes more carnage than Texas should have. So I don't get it. It just, drives me nuts. Excuse me. Damn. Weather up here, I'm telling you. Let's see. I don't see anything on to chase right now. And I think these with the repave, harsh Texas summer weather. Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I think that will help too by having 100-degree weather during the summertime will definitely pull that oil out of the track really fast. So, I mean, look how fast this track just, this configuration, how fast it grayed out, right? I mean, it took maybe 1 race, maybe 2, and it completely went gray. But whatever stone they used, it doesn't wear as fast. And I've always said that it's not just a tires issue. It's also can be a track issue if you don't repave it properly. If you make the asphalt last for 30 years, you're not going to have good racing. So I'm afraid, I hate to say this, but like North Wilkesboro, they had no choice but to repave it. But that asphalt could probably last for 30 some years, and we'll be just bomb feeding for years. And then probably, I hate to say it, but the track's going to go away again because it's not going to be good racing. But I don't know. I mean, granted, I guess they had issues there at that track, also in Sonoma. So who knows? Maybe it'll be different. But yeah, I'm with the heat and all. I think they'll have. It wouldn't take too long, but you got to work with it. You can't just naturally let the track like evolve into hopefully multiple groove racing. You have to help it along in the process in a quicker manner. So that means you got to get those guys to run the top. You got to put tire drag and rubber down into the track already. You got to abuse the crap out of the track to help it spread out sooner. If not, the guys are just going to be conservative and just run on the bottom. They're not going to take a risk and go up to the top. So you got to do something to help them along. As soon as that happens, we will have the old Texas track back in no time. You got to do something. I'm sorry. Half that race was ridiculous. Just nothing but wrecking. And really, just because maybe missing it by an inch. Not even that. Maybe half an inch. You missed that groove by just that little bit. There you go. Hope your ass likes that wall, because you're gonna know about it here soon. Oh man. But let's see here. I've been doing this for half an hour. Make sure everything is still good with Chase. It's gonna be about another probably hour before we'll see if they about the official thing. But again, I don't see them analyzing for anything, because I think the only way you fail inspection is if your weight's off, or you have like your shock mounts are off, and I don't see that happening. Not this track. So I'll tell you right now, if your shock mounts and whatever are off, Chase wasn't racing; he was wrecking. Yeah. But anyways, overall it was a good race. I'll take it as what it is. So good racing. Go to Talladega next week. We'll do the conga line of 2 wide for, whatever, how many roads deep. And they'll start saving gas about 15 laps into the run. People get bored in the back. They'll shoot 3 wide, and it'll be 3 wide for about, I don't know, majority of the run. And then they'll get back to 2 wide again as they're about to get the green flag race. I hate to say this. I can predict how a race goes because the drivers tell you how it goes. And that's sad. I'm hoping that they, by next year, figure out how to get super speed racing a little bit better too. The racing's not bad. Again, it's just the way they go by doing the race, right? The only reason why you're seeing 3 wide is because the 2 rows in, they're saving fuel. And then guys in the back, they say, let's make some track position up now. We'll shoot 3 wide as everyone else is going 50. They're going 100% wide open on the top. That's why they start passing. Now we need to figure out how to make them, 1, not have to save fuel, or want them to save fuel. And then 2, that when they don't, how do we keep the third lane an option when the bottom lanes are wide open? So more situational problems. Anyways, I think that's it for me. I'm going to try to live stream the Fast Cheers racing series there for Road Atlanta F4 cars tomorrow. I also got a job interview, as I said, tomorrow for a gas station where I'm close nearby. About half an hour away. So we'll see how that goes. And I'll let you guys know, tomorrow about it. But thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. And we'll we'll be back on tomorrow as long as everything goes right. Power doesn't go out and all that good stuff. All right. Let's thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll let you guys know tomorrow about it. And have a good one, everyone.